Okay, hello. It's live. It is Tuesday, 29th September at around about 9 o'clock. So it is the end of the 21-day Fat Loss Focus Challenge. The 21 days are actually up on Sunday, which is 2 days ago, and I'm a day or so behind with the lives. So sorry about that. So today I'm gonna talk about the calorie system. Now, the calorie system is the process that I use with clients, and it's the process I outline in my book, and I'm going to outline it here so you can get an idea about how to construct your own diet for fat loss, make it effective so that you can actually follow it and follow it for the long term, and then hopefully get the results that you want. Now, obviously, all the stuff I talk about on the Fat Loss Focus Challenge is free. All the stuff I talk about on my Instagram, my Facebook, all the stuff in the group, the Target Lean Lifestyle group, is all free. I'm quite happy to do free coaching because the majority of my work is in behavior and helping people to adjust their behavior and the way they look at diets. It's very limited the amount of times I actually just give someone a diet plan and say, there you are, there's some food, go and eat that. Even if people buy my lean body eating plan, there's still support there. There's still extra stuff that they get to help them along. So in terms of how to calculate a diet plan and how to calculate nutrition, I'm quite happy to give that away for free. And if a nutritionist isn't, then they probably haven't got much else in the tank there, and they're saving up, oh, this is my secret way to lose weight. I'll give you a secret diet. Don't you know secret diet? Everything I've discussed in the Fat Loss Focus Challenge, all the guides I've linked you to, all the My Protein guides and the calorie calculators and all that sort of stuff will show you how to do your own diet if you can be bothered to do it. Now, I appreciate that some people don't want to do it themselves, and that's why potentially they get a nutritionist. That's why they employ me to help them, or other nutritionists. Certainly an analogy is that I have an accountant that does all my accounts. I could probably figure out how to do my accounts myself, but I could get fined by the government for doing the accounts wrong. And although you're not going to get fined by anybody for not losing weight, you probably won't achieve the goal that you want, so you probably won't feel happy about it. So that is normally the reason why people take on a nutritionist, is because they want someone to help them to get where they want. But just be aware that if you do, make sure you do it for the right reasons. If you're going to go to a nutritionist and get someone to help you with your diet or whatever, don't just blindly do what they say. Make sure you understand the process of what they're doing so that you can learn it yourself, so you don't need them anymore after, say, 12 weeks, 16 weeks, whatever, how long it takes you to get your goals. And this is why I want to teach you the calorie system, so that you understand the process that I go through, so that if you do it yourself, you can understand what you have to do so that you can get the results. Now, of course, you can just buy my book, Target Lean. It's on Amazon. That will outline the calorie system for you. I think there's some outlines on my website as well if you want to have a quick look at it. But this video is going to go through it. So the calorie system is 7 steps. So you've got CALORIE. I like acronyms, and calories quite fitting for weight loss because it's all based on calories. So we have calculate, allocate, list, organize, routine, increase activity, and evaluation and assessment. So the calculate we did right at the beginning of the Fat Loss Focus Challenge. I said, go and use my calorie calculator, calculate your calories for weight loss. So we did that right at the beginning. You calculated your calories so you knew, excuse me, how much you had to eat in order to lose weight. So we did that right at the beginning. And all diets, if you're going to have a successful weight loss diet, you have to calculate your calories at the beginning. I know we did the STAR challenge as well. That was a creating a calorie deficit without calculating the diet, but we were still creating a deficit, and that's why you calculate your calories, to make sure you are creating a deficit. Now, obviously, we did the STAR challenge at the beginning, which was my way of getting you thinking about restricting your calories yourself and making choice come into the equation. So that's why we did that. If you're going to do a diet yourself and do it for the long term, you have to calculate your calories, because eventually the STAR chart will start working, because your body will adapt to the deficit. So we have calculate right at the beginning. Excuse me. bit of a cough. So, and then we have Allocate. So Allocate is where you take those calories and you allocate them across your day. Now, I have 3 to 4 meals a day plus some snacks. Now, you might have heard me talk on the videos about how I am an evening snacking person and that I allocate some of my calories for the day into my evening snacks. Now, after I've done all this work, this is 9 o'clock at night, I've still got a little bit of work to do for someone's diet plan. Once I finish that, I will sit down and watch, I think it's Cobra Kai I'm watching at the moment, which is awesome. So I'm going to sit down and watch that. And when I sit down and watch that, then I relax, I will start to snack on stuff. That's what I do. I can't stop myself doing. I've tried loads of times, I still snack. So I live with it. I say, yeah, I accept that I'm going to snack. So I allocate some of my calories into that. So I have 3 to 4 meals in a day, which I allocate calories for. And I allocate calories into the evening, so I can have normally it's a cornetto and some crisps, because I like ice cream and I like crisps. So I have a little bit of that, but I know that I've allocated those calories. Now you've got to be realistic about your lifestyle. If you are someone who snacks in the evening in front of the TV, don't then allocate your calories all in the day and think, oh, I'm going to be good in the evening because I'm on diet, because it won't happen, especially if you sat down with your partner or on your own. You're just going to get bored and start to snack on stuff. And if there's a partner with you, you're probably going to snack both of you together, because that's what happens when you're in a relationship. You sit down, veg on front of the TV, and eat food while the kids have gone to sleep, because that's what we do when we're parents. So make sure you allocate your calories into the evening if you are a snacking in the evening person. It's really important. Allocate your calories to your lifestyle and it fits your lifestyle. So many diets will give you, oh, you must eat this many meals, you can't eat after 6 p.m, can't eat crisps, can't eat cornettos. Well, sod that, I would never do that diet, because I like crisps and I like cornettos and I like eating in the evening. So that diet would be no good for me at all. Doesn't matter who wrote it, bestnutritionistintheworld.com could have wrote it. I would not follow that diet, because it just will not work for me. It has to work for you. The lifestyle has to fit your lifestyle. Okay, so then that's A, allocate. So then we've got L, which is list. And when I say list, I'm talking about list the foods that you like to eat, because we don't do diets where we eat food that we don't like, because you're never going to do that diet. So going back to the allocate, where I can't eat my crisp or cornetto after 6 p.m, right? Well, if I can't eat crisp or cornetto, that's not going to be on my diet. So I'm not going to be very upset about that. And I'm probably going to be craving crisp and cornetto all the way through the diet. So we need to make sure that the foods that we eat are in our diet. So the foods we like are in our diet. If they're not, what's going to happen is, as soon as you start the diet, and this is what loads of people do, they go, oh, I'm starting my diet Monday, so I'm not able to have bagels or crisps or toast or pizza or blah, 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 blah. A list of about 1 million things which their bespoke weight loss plan, which everybody gets, is telling them they can't eat. And so what do they do? They have a massive binge on the weekend before they do their diet. So it's like a last thing, like a last meal before going to execution. Well, that's great, because that lasts, well, for one, you've just had a massive binge on food, and then that lasts about a week, because you're in week into the diet, already missing your food, and you start to break a little bit, and you start to nibble on foods, and then all of a sudden you're off the diet, because who wants to do a diet where they're eating foods they don't like? No one. So you need to list the foods that you like to eat. Now there's a tool, it's in my book, but it's also on my website, called the Lean Matrix, and it's based on foods that you like, and there's one line which is foods that you like, and there's another line which is your resistance to overeating. So I think it's called something like pleasure control, or something like that. It's your response to it anyway. So for example, if you had a real thing for Pringles like I do, then you're going to have a real trouble resisting eating a lot of them if they're put in front of you. A lot of people have this with pizza, ice cream, cookies, that sort of thing. So we don't want foods that are highly rewarding, and also foods that we snack on a lot. So we need to put the foods that we like into the areas that we know we can have them. So you have let's have a look. You have on the bottom where you have resistance to overeating, but also it's low calorie. That's your snacks. And then on the top left, you have food that you can eat. It's higher calorie, but you have control over your overeating. And then on the other side, you have acceptable cheats, which is food that is highly pleasurable and gives you a lot of reward, but you can control how much you eat. So for me, this would be a Nando's. If I go and eat a Nando's, I don't immediately want another Nando's right afterwards. But if I went and ate some Pringles, I probably would want some Pringles immediately afterwards. So, and those sorts of foods go in the bottom where they're highly rewarding and highly calorie, and you can't stop yourself eating them, and that's called no man's land. So if you go into the, and you don't want to be in no man's land because then you get blown up and die, well, you don't die on a diet, but you actually like die because you've eaten so much food, perhaps, and you explode. So if you go on the website, it's I think it's bkmnutrition.com/lean matrix, lean.matrix. You can see that and then print it off, or you only need a piece of paper to put it on. It's quite easy. But the idea is that we put all the foods that we like onto this graph, and we be honest with ourselves and say, well, yeah, you know, I actually Pringles and things like Hobnobs and stuff like that, this is mine. That's going to go in no man's land because I overeat on them and I can't control myself eating them. But say Bourbon biscuits and Doritos Chili Wave crisps, which that's what I eat in the evening now. They are in my sort of acceptable cheats area because I can have them. They're not really low calorie or anything else, but I can stop myself eating. I can have a little bit and I'm okay. So that's the thing I nibble on in the evening, not Pringles and Hobnobs anymore because I can't control myself. So you need to make sure you list all the foods that you like, be honest with yourself, and make sure the foods that are going to set you off on a massive binge, they're properly ring-fenced so that you don't have them. Or if you are going to have them, make sure you put into place some sort of portion control, such as you've only got half a packet so that you don't just munch all the way through them. Or there's another, there's another technique called break cues, which you can portion out and then make sure you hide the rest of them. All this is in the book and it's all on the website as well. So once you do your list, so you've got the foods that you like, because we only have a diet where we eat foods that we like, then we need to organise. So we look at our lean matrix and we take the foods that are in our everyday foods, which is the foods that are normal meals, which we don't binge on, and then our low calorie snacks. So those are the foods that say like Snacker Jacks, fruit, that sort of thing. They form the majority of our diet for the day. So those foods, we still like them, we just don't binge on them. So we make our meals from those foods. So for example, I have things like pasta bolognese. I have chicken and pasta today with some tomato sauce stuff on it. I have fruit salad and yogurt in the morning with whey. So all these meals that I have that I like, but I don't binge on them. But they're all foods I like. I don't eat anything I don't like. And they form the majority of my calories. And then, like I said, I have some snacks in the evening because I like snacking in the evening. So that's my acceptable cheats. And that would be Cornetto and Doritos. So that would be my acceptable cheats, but I've allocated those. I know I can control myself having them. So they're not what I would call the best food or clean food, but they're foods that help me get through the day. It's my 20% of 80-20. It's my 20% where I'm maybe not sticking to the plan, but it is in my plan. So it's actually 100%, so that's good. Excuse me. So, excuse me. So once we've organised the foods and we've got all our meals set out with foods that we like from our list, and we've allocated it so all the calories fit, that's your diet plan. That is the food, all the foods that you like in meal options and snack options, so that you just go, okay, I'm having that today, it's fine, and it's all foods that you like. Then that's the diet side of things done. Then we've got routine, that's the R. So routine and habit building, I've talked about this on the 21-day focus challenge, how long it takes to build routines and habits, how you can build routines and habits, how to make sure you build good habits and make bad habits harder to do. That's all on the video sequence. If you watch back, there is a couple of videos dealing with that. So we need to have systems that support our diet. So routines and habits are the systems. And remember, we fall to the level of our systems. So we can have the best diet in the world. And if we have crap systems, so as soon as we fall off, we have a weekend away, have a binge or whatever, we've got these systems to support it, we fall right off the wagon and we gain all the way back again. So building good habits and routines and making sure that good habits are easier to do than bad habits, though that's what we need to work on, and that's our routines and habits side of things. That's the R. Then we have I, increased activity. I've talked about, do you need to do cardio? Do you need to, how to get your steps up, how to recognize if your metabolism is slowing down. That's all in there. So if you watch back the videos, you'll see that we don't actually move as much as we think we do. I know there are a couple of my clients who are absolutely smashing their steps every day, 20,000 steps plus. And I know there's a few clients that I have to tell them to stop doing cardio. Gemma, you're watching, I know that's you. And some people overdo their activity, and so sometimes I have to tell them to stop. So they're the minority of people. Most people don't move as much as they should, so we increase activity. Then we look at the last piece of the puzzle, which is the evaluation and assessment. That's the E. So we've done all that. We're starting to get some results, but we need to make sure we're assessing it and logging it. So tracking our weight, tracking how we look in the mirror, tracking clothes sizes, tracking our workouts, our steps, our cardio, our training. Don't have to do all of these, but you must track something as a measure of your progress. Now, a lot of people only track weight. That's a wrong thing to do, because weight is not respective or not representative, I should say, of your progress. Remember that if we're losing body fat and gaining muscle, which happens a lot, especially in women, you might not be losing any weight, but you're starting to look better. But if you always measure your weight and that's the only thing you're looking at, then you're going to be disappointed. And I've actually had a couple of clients this week, actually for the last 2 weeks, where we've not monitored weight at all because the weight wasn't moving. But their output in the gym was increasing and they were feeling better in clothes and looking better in the mirror. And the weight, logging the weight every day and looking at the weight not moving, was starting to get them depressed. So we said, right, let's get rid of that, because as a metric, it's not changing, it's not doing anything for you. So let's instead look at all the other things, how your clothes are fitting, your performance in the gym, your steps. We know from the steps and the activity and the cardio and the training and the calorie intake that there's no way they're not in a deficit, because the calorie deficit is so high. So we know that's not the case, and so we're happy, comfortable not logging the weight. You don't have to log weight. But we must assess something, we must log something. So it's never a good idea to just do a diet and then weigh yourself like once a week, or every now and again track your calories. It doesn't do anything. You need to track everything. If you're going to do it, track it every day so that you can get an average over the week, and then you can look at it and go, all right, week on week on week, has the weight dropped, has the calorie output increased, has this, has this, has this. And if you can get to that point where you are saying, oh, lemon fly coming onto my camera. So if you can get to the point where you're saying, right, well, I can see things are moving, and so I know I'm making progress. And then when it starts to slow down, you go, okay, or maybe I need to look at maybe recalculating my calories to see that if I'm still in deficit. Because if you're losing weight, if you're starting to slim down, you might be in a case where your body has actually lost so much weight that now the calorie deficit you created originally is not now a deficit. If you've suddenly lost 7 kilos, that's a stone that you're not carrying around. That's a lot of weight to carry around every day, or not a lot of weight to carry around every day. And so that will mean that your body's energy expenditure will be less, because you're not carrying around 7 kilos all the way through the day. And so carrying around an extra 7 kilos, or it does make it a lot less expenditure. So if you're carrying less weight, as in body weight, you're going to expend less calories, and that's unfortunately a kick in the teeth when you do dieting, because the more weight you lose, sometimes the more calories you have to drop. However, if we have increased our activity as part of the I part of things, and we're now doing more steps and more training and more cardio, and we're doing, obviously the caveat here is that you're enjoying doing it. Don't just go and do cardio for 5 hours every day because you think that's what it takes to lose weight. If you're enjoying doing all that stuff, then your possibility that since the start of the diet, where you were very sedentary or you didn't move a lot, now your output is so high that actually the fact that you've lost weight doesn't affect your calories. So this is why we have to monitor everything, or a few things that really make the difference, so we can see if we are indeed making progress. So that is the calorie system. That's the 7-step process. We calculate it right at the beginning. We make our diet from the calculation at the beginning, allocate it to our lives. We list the foods that we like, make sure those foods go into our diets and no foods we don't like. We look at our routines to back up that diet to make sure we can continually do that diet. We increase our activity just in case we drop loads of weight, but also to increase calories out. And then we assess every week, every 2 weeks, see where we're getting. And then if we're starting to stall, starting to slow down progress, we go back to the beginning and say, right, do I need to recalculate? Do I need to do this? Do I need to do this? That is the way you will make consistent progress, and that is the way you will move forward every single week and continue to move towards the body that you want. That is how I work with clients. Whenever I work with clients, we have weekly meetings or 2 weekly meetings or whatever to work out what's happening, make adjustments as we need to. But you can do all this yourself if you have someone to help you, an accountability partner. That's essentially what a coach is an accountability partner. It's someone who is, fly going off again. It's someone who is holding you to account and is making sure that you're sticking to your program. So make sure if you haven't got a coach, you've got someone around you to make sure you're doing things right. So that's, apologies, I've got a bit of a cough today. So that is the calorie system. You don't need a coach if you have someone else to help you, but make sure that person is helping you and is holding to account, not just a yes man or a yes woman agreeing with everything you said. So once you've got that in place, you should be able to lose weight consistently for the long term. The Target Lean Lifestyle group is always open. You can always post in there. Me and Phoenix are here to help you. So if you do need a helping hand, if you get stuck, just give us a shout. But that is the end of the 21-day Fat Loss Focus Challenge. I hope you've enjoyed everything. I hope you have got some results. If you need to go back and watch the videos, please do. And I'm going to stop there because I start to feel a cough coming on and it's going to be a long one. But thanks for being part of it. And if you do need some more help, please ask away. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.